Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead, leading up to episode 15 / the 100th episode of the show. And we're going to look back on episode 14 and kind of go over some of your guys' reactions from that episode, as well as my own, and talking about the fact that this was probably one of the worst wars ever in the Walking Dead franchise.
We don't even know if that place is real.
We might actually have someplace to go.
Alright guys, this is going to be doing another video today. This one's going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our very first Q&A for this week leading up to episode 15 / the 100th episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This one is my Q&A for, after episode 14 and leading into episode 15, we're going to go over some comments from you guys, and we're going to go over a few things for today. And of course, I guess we'll get started with this. If you have not seen my review for episode 14, you're probably going to ask, Dan, after about a day of sitting on it, how do you feel about episode 14? Does it... Watch the review. Watch the review. So, go ahead and get my thoughts on that. I still feel the exact same way I did yesterday. Episode 14 was an absolute piece of shit. But let's talk about it now with you guys. Let's, see what you guys have to say. And I guess I'll kind of start off with this. I don't think I've ever seen a week, because there's a lot of Fear the Walking Dead viewers on my channel. There's a lot of hardcore Fear the Walking Dead fans on my channel. And obviously, I give you guys my honest thoughts. And, I know some of you guys don't like when I complain about an episode too much. But obviously, I tell you what's on my mind. I think 14 was an absolute disgrace. But what shocked me this week, among the other weeks as well too, though, is because for once, I actually have noticed that I've gone over several of your guys' comments. I've seen a lot of the reactions in the Fear the Walking Dead community, and I can actually say this was one of the first weeks that even the hardcore Fear the Walking Dead fans said that this was a bad episode, said it was an absolute terrible episode. So I guess I'll kind of re-ask the question. How is episode 14 aging for you? Have you found things you like about it, or do you think it is absolutely horrible? I mean, I would love to hear that from you guys. And I genuinely want to know, because obviously, and, don't worry about people judging you. Obviously, there's a lot of people that like to judge people for their opinion. Obviously, this is a place where we can always voice our opinions. And if there's anybody giving you a hard time, don't worry, because I'm going to be deleting their comments. Because a lot of people do not know what, opinions are nowadays. And, obviously on this channel, we're allowed to voice our opinions, respectfully that is. And that's, what this is all about. So I would love to hear, do you guys, enjoy episode 14? I would love to hear that. But so far, I have not met a single soul that actually liked episode 14. So we'll see if that changes today. But at least for right now, I haven't met a single soul that said they enjoyed 14. So that's crazy. That's how you know it's bad. So I don't know, because like I said, there's a lot of really big time Fear the Walking Dead fans that watch these videos. And a lot of those people have told me they did not like the episode at all. So that counts for something. But speaking of that kind of stuff, let's talk about our first comment for today from Owen, who goes into the fact episode 14 was very underwhelming. They thought it was an absolute horrible end to the battle, very underwhelming episode, and they would give it a 3 out of 10 at best. And they also say that this episode really does affect the rest of the season, seeing how the rest of season 7 was leading up to this very moment, and it didn't deliver, and it's very disappointing for Owen. So I agree, and honestly, I agree 150%. Here's what I would say. Episode 14, and this is why I hate it so much, and a lot of people have, kind of asked me, Dan, why do you hate 14 so much? And this is my simple answer to this. When you have a story, okay, and you're building somewhere, you're kind of taking your viewers through a bit of a slow burn, which, I'm a big defender in slow burn stories. If they're told well, if they're well executed, then, and that payoff is really, really good, then I think it's totally fine, honestly. It just all depends on the way you do it. In Fear the Walking Dead's case, we had started this story back in Season 6, Episode 15. Ever since then, we've been building up to this Strand villain arc, and it's been about a season that he's been a villain, and we've been waiting for this attack, we've been waiting on the assault on the tower, and we finally got it, that payoff, you know, that moment that we've been waiting for all season. And I couldn't agree with Owen more. We literally then got what we should never get with a slow burn story, where the buildup was actually better than the actual attack, okay? And this is the funny thing about this. Episode 13, if you guys saw my review, I enjoyed that episode. And I think part of the reason why I enjoyed that episode, and I'm starting to figure this out now, is because episode 13 wasn't about the tower. Yeah, it was at times with Alicia and Morgan, but I think the reason why I enjoyed episode 13 so much, and this is pretty pathetic, is because it was mostly about Dwight and Sherry, unrelated to what Strand is doing, you know? And because it was about them and their relationship and their future, and it was actual character development, I think that's why I enjoyed 13 so much, is because we didn't have to focus on this godforsaken tower that everybody wants to take. And episode 14, the other thing that really starts to drive me crazy about that episode, we had spent such a long time building up Strand's arc, and for him just to throw it all away like that, and for him to just flip just like that, it literally made it feel like it was a waste of our time. So I couldn't agree more with Owen. Honestly, I could not agree more. And honestly, this episode, I mean, did it have small moments that were okay? Yeah, it did. Small action scenes. But even those small action scenes, it was for the wrong reason. You know, it was badly written. Maybe the action, you could say, was well, you know, choreographed or whatever, but the actual story that they were telling in this episode was absolutely horrendous, you know, and that really is the problem. You know, you can have fun shootouts, you can have fun action sequences, but if your story is not there, which I'm sorry, it was not in 14, then it kind of doesn't matter in the end how much action you have or the editing, because I'll admit there was some good music in 14, there was some really well done action scenes, I agree on a lot of those, you know, points, but when the story basically pisses all over the rest, if you will, if you catch my drift, then it doesn't matter, you know, and that's the main point. It's like we had everything lined up perfectly, and this big cloud of yellow piss that Fear the Walking Dead's been having nowadays just rains all over it and gives it the beautiful yellow look that we have now. Okay, I'm done. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's my way of describing how this went. Everything was lined up perfectly. This battle was lined up absolutely the way it was supposed to be. And this big cloud of piss then rained on our battle and gave us what we watch every week, which is a piss-looking, terrible whatever, which I guess that's one thing to compliment episode 14 on. We didn't have to sit through radiation. Thank God for that. It just sucks that the story was as bad as it was. Next one for today comes from the Winter Sponge, which I really like that name, by the way. I really, really like that. So anyway, Winter Sponge says that they really enjoyed the Daniel plot in this one with him killing the guy and figuring out what happened to Ophelia. They thought that was a really enjoyable part of the episode despite everything else. So, and I agree, and I wanted to kind of take this moment to kind of appreciate one thing from episode 14, because obviously everything else was really badly done. But I do agree with that, and I kind of mentioned that in the review as well too. And I guess it's, you know, it's the only bit of positivity we'll get this week out of Fear. So I do enjoy how Daniel came to his senses, and I really enjoyed having our OG characters all there when Daniel realized that Ophelia died, and then he has to stay here with Charlie. She doesn't have much time left. And I really like how it was the OG Fear characters. It was Alicia, Strand, and Daniel. That I really appreciated. And honestly, if there's one thing I can say about 14, they did well. Even though I have not been a big fan of the Daniel confused storyline, as you guys have known, I think it ended in a way that was really, really well done. I mean, honestly, Fear got me on that. Honestly, that was a well done scene, and honestly, really cool to see, you know, our characters finally kind of, you know, get Daniel back on track. Hopefully he can just kind of go back to his normal self at this point. I don't have much confidence that he will, but I'm also pulling for him that they can get his character back on track, because he had some badass moments in this one. You know, killing the guy with the handcuffs. He's like, you should have tied my arms like this instead of like this, you know? I really like that. I think that was really, really well done. So Daniel in this episode, very, very good character for what he had. I agree. Next one comes from AJ, who says that, what have they done to Alicia's character? The writers have really messed up her character. So I agree, again, 150%. This was an episode that really frustrates me for Alicia because, well, for a few reasons. For one, she goes in there like an idiot and has a drink with Strand, knowing that there's a potential that she's not going to be able to walk out of there. Second of all, the fact that she actually took Strand's deal after all the shit that he's done. And third, the fact that she then freaks out later and fights Strand and then tries to have him killed when he literally just saved your life with Wes. I mean, I don't understand Alicia. I really don't. And she literally then goes up there, tries to call, like, hey, this is Alicia, if you're listening to this. Like, who gives a fuck? Do you seriously think that if there's anybody in the you know, close by area that, you know, see this tower from a distance and they see the shit that's going down and they hear the gunfire and they hear the friggin' chaos going on at the tower, who the fuck, I'm sorry, who in the fuck would actually walk up to that place and be like, this is a safe place? What, because some chick on a radio says to? Bitch, if I see a place getting shot up and I hear gunshots from a distance, I don't care if there's a spinning light, which then just fell, by the way, I am not going to that tower. I don't know what Alicia was trying to do there, but if there's anybody that approaches that tower next episode and says, I heard your message, I'm here to help you, I'm going to call bullshit right away. So, I don't know. That was the worst of them all. But then she, you know, passes out, and then she's stuck up there with the place burning down. I mean, might I add, bad cliffhanger? Can I please also add that? Did I mention that in a review yesterday? Because that is probably one of the worst cliffhangers I've ever seen. So there is that as well, too. And the final one comes from Hunter, who says that Strand in this episode really frustrated him as well, too, with is he good, is he bad, is he good, is he bad, that whole kind of thing. And I also really agree. I mean, one of the things that I was fearing the most, and this is why, because I know a lot of people have kind of been asking me, too, like, Dan, why don't you like Strand's redemption arc? Why aren't you happy that he survived? I like Strand's character. Don't get me wrong. I think Strand in the first 6 seasons, excluding 7, is a very well-written character, and I think he's very well executed, and he's exactly what he's supposed to be. But in Season 7, they turned him into a full-fledged bad guy, a full-fledged villain, to then just throw it away with a guy that just entered your tower 2 days ago, somehow manages to take control of your army that have been following you for months, almost a year, I think, something like that, and to join a guy that just got there and try to have Strand killed, even though he is giving you orders. You've never had a problem with him giving you orders until now. I mean, can somebody explain this logic to me? Because I'm lost. I don't get it. I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever, and it's part of the reason why 14 is so bad, is because the war was literally over within 2 seconds. Like, they join West, they try to kill Strand, Dwight and the others are just standing out there. Like, this is the worst way this war could have ever gone. Honestly, this is the worst route you could have ever taken. And the writers were so desperate for a death so that people could say there was an actual death in episode 14 that they just had to have West betray the group, even though he's been rolling with them for the past 2 seasons. Like, I could understand in the bunker with Teddy and the holding, your brother is there. I could see turning on the group, crossing your mind, because that's family. There is no reason why you should join Strand. There is no reason whatsoever. I don't care if it's because, you know, Alicia does this and Strand does it his way and Luciana did it her way. I don't care. Not everybody is going to be a babyface. You know what I'm saying? People do bad shit all the time to survive. Like, in particular, you, Wes. Like, seriously, I don't understand his logic at all in this type of situation. So, I don't know. I'm glad Wes is gone. I'm glad he's dead. And as for Strand turning and going back and forth, it's your typical Fear the Walking Dead terrible redemption arc. Honestly, that's exactly what this is. So anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I don't know how many more Q&As I'm doing this week for Fear, guys. I did a lot last week, so I don't know how many videos for Fear we're going to do this week. I might do one more, but honestly, guys, don't even hold me to it. Fear the Walking Dead was absolutely horrible this week. It was absolutely horrible. So anyway, we'll see. I can't promise too many Fear videos this week, but maybe we'll do one more. I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Definitely let me know and write your comments in the comment section below about all this stuff. And of course, guys, if you're new here, make sure to click that subscribe button so you know some of my videos for Fear the Walking Dead. Follow Dan's Walking Reviews, subscribe, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for that video for Fear the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
We will tell you who you're going to be from now on.